Thank you very much. And I don't know whether there's any questions or time for questions. So.
Yeah, we can probably take a few questions.
Yeah.
Irene?
Yes.
You may well be aware of it, but when I was working with National Research Council back in the 80s, we surveyed the entire Bay of Fundy, outer coast, Cape Breton, all around PEI, documenting zonal patterns, zonation patterns of benthic macroalgae intertidally and subtidally out to about 60 feet depth. Check in McLaughlin, 1980s.
Okay, I should get that information from you for the CSAS process.
Really
yes.
interesting to overlay.
It would be.
Those
yes.
charts that we developed with this.
Yes.
This makes sense to me.
Yes. To me,
So
I mean, we're looking at it. We're looking at it straight down. But to me, this is a very three-dimensional product. And so to get into the water column, the depths, it may look a little different. One of the reasons why I was part of this process was for the data management and possible data sharing type things. And so as it turned out, we really had one GIS person, Michelle Greenlaw, who did collect all the data from the different departments and was able to overlay it. We did share it initially amongst ourselves in a georeference PDF, just to put layers on and off. But in the end, we decided that that was not the product that we were going to share with anyone else, that the only product that we really had was these shoreline segments. And since the shoreline segments were based on the 1 to 10,000 shoreline, but clearly are fattened, shoreline segments, there isn't really the issue with data sharing, that there might have been if we had wanted to keep all of the input data together. But clearly, continuing to look at all of these different data layers and looking at it in a three-dimensional aspect is important.
Quick question, just from my understanding, I've been involved a little bit with CPANs and
yes.
this project going back. But this map just shows that 12A is different from 11. There's no value associated with it
nope.
in terms of, it's just saying that this area is a little bit different from this area.
That's right. And so for the purpose of doing this, what the protected areas of CPANs, the protected areas of Nova Scotia group needed was to say, okay, if we wanted to protect 10% within this representation, where are the boundaries? So if we were to protect here, here, and here, that's going to be X number of percent of what. And so that's what this means. The 11 is more like within it and less like outside of it.
Or you could imagine that it's, say, 11 and 13 and 15A. Do you have a similarity or dissimilarity index generated?
Yeah, that's
some of them
that's
are
right.
going to be quite, even though they're not contiguous, more like
yes.
some other stretch
that question came
up,
especially along the Northumberland shore. Mm-hmm. And you can see that eventually we decided that 21 area was all like, because otherwise you would have had little tiny segments all along,
mm-hmm.
But when you step back and look to see the pattern, they were all much more like each other than they were different. But clearly 15A and 15B had more significant differences that the people who were experts and knowledgeable about that area, went to it, knew about it, said that clearly 15B is significantly different from 15A, but 15B was small enough that if you needed to clump it, it would be more like 15A than 16A. So I think that's sort of how things went.
But your multivariate analysis should give you some
more numerical.
Numerical
yeah,
sort of
that's right.
distinction.
So this may shift, and really what we are first going to get some feedback on from the CSAS review is whether this approach is valid. And secondly, to take it back and to try and run some numerical analysis to see if it fits when you start running it through computer algorithms. Yeah.
Other questions for Jennifer?
Do you think you have, are you satisfied that you have all the data that you need, at the scale that you need to run robust multivariate analysis?
No, I don't think so, but I think that probably a few factors and parameters will be put into some sort of an analysis. So we may find that we just never have, but we are definitely using the physiographic changes along coastline to mimic what the biological changes are.
Okay.
So I don't know at what point we're going to have enough to validate this, but it will be over time.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, great. Thank you, Jennifer.